I think we're
Merry
live
Christmas.
now. There we go. Now we're live. So what I was saying was Uli made me this really great shirt. It says ho, 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 Mickey Mouse heads.
Mhm.
And I was going to wear it on the show tonight. And I realized I can't because it's green. Who is whispering in the background? Is that your wife?
Yeah, she's teasing me. She's like, I'm going to go watch The Mandalorian.
Whatever.
Yeah, it's okay. She's behind anyway, so she needs to catch up.
Oh, let her catch up then.
Yeah, she falls asleep.
Oh, well.
What's up, Travis?
Hey, Travis.
Dietrich.
So we are celebrating Festivus tonight. I guess we should start by explaining what Festivus is. Hey, Tom. To anybody who is not a fan of Seinfeld or who never saw the episode, it is season 9, episode 10. If you are looking for it, it's called The Strike, and it is a holiday episode of Seinfeld. And this is a clip from Seinfeld that explains what Festivus is. One of the traditions in Festivus is the airing of grievances. So tonight will be our airing of grievances for Disney. But I want to preface this by saying that it's not going to be like all negative. I mean, we're going to say what our complaints are, but keep in mind that we still love Disney and give them money for annual passes every year. So it must not be all that bad.
I bet Rachel's going to be really negative. Watch.
Yeah, she's negative. So let's find out what Festivus is for those of us who don't know. So we're going to share the screen now. And I am going to take myself out. The Festivus airing of grievances.
What?
Nothing. It's a card from my dad.
Dear son, happy Festivus? What is Festivus?
It's nothing. It's not.
When George was growing
Jerry,
up,
no.
his father hated all the commercial and religious aspects of Christmas, so he made up his own holiday. Happy Festivus. It's Festivus. When George was growing up, his father...
It's nothing. It's a stupid holiday my father invented. It doesn't exist.
Happy Festivus, Georgie.
A new holiday was born. A Festivus for the rest of us. And at the Festivus dinner, you gather your family around and tell them all the ways they have disappointed you over the past year.
And is there a tree?
No, instead there's a pole. Requires no decoration. I find tinsel distracting.
Is that the pole?
George, Festivus is your heritage. It is part of who you are.
That's why I hate it.
Read that poem.
I can't read it. I need my glasses.
You don't need glasses. You're just weak. You're weak.
Leave him alone!
I find your belief system fascinating.
It's a Festivus miracle.
Welcome, newcomers. The tradition of Festivus begins with the airing of grievances. I got a lot of problems with you people. Now, you're going to hear about it. You, Kroger. My son tells me your company stinks.
Frank, no offense, but this holiday's a little out there.
Kramer, you can't go. Who's going to do the feats of strength?
How about George?
So that is Festivus. So we're going to air our grievances, but we're not going to be quite as Merry Christmas to the Daves family. So that's what we're going to do. Oh, I got something in my ear. Sorry about that. That was in my ear, though. It wasn't in your ear. So.
Hello, Facebook user. That may be the person across the pond. Who knows? Amanda Bond. How you guys?
Hey, Bond. That's like us. Yes, the Festivus for the rest of us. So tonight we're gonna air our grievances, and we asked our listeners to share some of their grievances. We broke it up into topics to make it easier to handle. And if anybody wants to come on tonight, You can. I can invite you in. I could send you a link, and you can come on. So let Dave know if you want to come on and talk about your grievances. I think we're going to start with the food and drink and restaurant grievances that people had. And I did get some reply from people on Facebook. Jen Batcholder felt duped by the school bread. She felt like school bread was not all it was cracked up to be. Happy Festivus, Karen. I know what she's talking about. Jerry Stiller is missed. Yes, but he's with his wife, Helen. So Deidre's here too. School bread looks like a donut, but when you bite into it, you realize it's not a donut. It's actually bread with cream inside that should be in a donut. It's very weird, and I know exactly what Jen is talking about. And Amanda agrees. School bread was one and done for her. It is actually like a bread roll, but it has sweet cream inside. It's weird, and I don't know what people are talking about. And I get it, Jen. I agree with you. Mike was waiting for these tasty cakes, and I had them for him. So
Thanks.
You're welcome, Mike. Mike got some Christmas cards. Thank you, everybody that sent us Christmas cards. Thanks, everybody, he said. I showed him, he got a card from Jeff Opoka today, and I had to show him a picture of who Jeff was on my phone. He's like, oh, thanks, beard guy. And Scott's the other beard guy that sent him a card. All right. Let's see. So was it Travis or Tom that was saying they're not a fan of Dole Whips?
Why?
Tom.
The whole whip.
Tom. He's talking about the whole whip, and he said the freaking whole whip.
Yeah, and Travis said that on the Facebook page that he's not a fan of the Dole Whip either, and the Dole Whip. Our grievance with the Dole Whip and other ice cream treats at Disney is what we're looking at right there, the whole.
I mean, look at that thing. You could drive my truck through there.
We're not going to watch TV. Michael's got TV playing. Okay, take that in your room. He's getting ready to watch TV while we're recording. Right next to me. Yeah, that's a big hole. So that's an ongoing grievance for us.
Hello, right back at you, Facebook user.
Lovelies. We're lovely. So somebody said the paper straws. And I think it was Amy Beckner who was saying, especially when you get one of these frozen drinks, that after a little while it starts to look like that. And that's a problem when you're trying to have a frozen margarita. So Nicole said, just go out and invest in some of these and carry them with you. They're not a lot of money. $8 comes with their own carrying case and a cleaning brush and everything. So if you're going to be going to Disney a lot and having a lot of frozen margaritas, it's worth it to invest in that. My issue. Go ahead.
No, I was scared.
Who is it? I don't know who that is.
I don't know. Yeah, something.
They want to come on screen, but I don't know who it is, so I can't send them the link.
That's all right. I'll see what he wants to, or they want to share.
I don't know.
We don't know who you are, Facebook user. And if
I'll
I miss some, if I miss some of your comments, it happened last week. For some reason, I wasn't seeing some of the comments, so it's not like I'm ignoring you. For some reason, I don't know. I just wasn't getting them. But,
yeah, I don't know what was going on last week because people were saying they were writing stuff and they thought Dave was ignoring them, and he really wasn't. I don't think he was. I just
what's up, Glenn?
I'm trying to.
Yeah, I know, Tom. Lauren Hawkins says the fact that you can't mobile order at Starbucks, even after everywhere else switched to mobile only. Yeah. Okay.
It's Dan Austin. Dan, I posted on our Friends of the Disney Crush Facebook page. I posted a link to join us to come in.
Karen, we do the same thing. We bring our straws.
Let me see if I can private message him.
You gotta watch it, Missy. Watch that spelling, that grammar.
This is riveting television tonight. There we go. I'm private messaging Dan. So.
Good job on the podcast. I listened to Geeking on Walt Disney World today, and Glenn was on there.
Glenn was great.
He always does great.
And it wasn't just because he complimented both of us.
No, but that helped a little bit, you know.
I'll tell you one of my pet peeves with Disney dining is that they get rid of things that are popular. The Figaro fries were a big hit at Pinocchio Village House. People used to rave about them and used to make a special trip for the Figaro fries. And one day somebody went to get Figaro fries and they were off the menu. Now, if you look at what it is, it's basically French fries with a salad on top. So it's not like these were difficult to come by ingredients. It's ranch dressing on salad on French fries. So why would they get rid of it if people liked it? And I will never forget and will never live down with my husband when they got rid of the French toast loaf at the bakery on Main Street. That was another thing that people loved, the French toast loaf. And one day they just got rid of it. And it was like, but people like it. Why do you get rid of things that people like? I don't if there's something that people don't like, I get it. But why you get rid of things that people clamor for? People used to go crazy for these stupid French fries. So
how about the candy coated strawberries? They got rid of those too.
Right, at the Flower and Garden Festival. Travis wants to say something. I'm a little nervous. What do you want to say, Travis?
I just have one thing, right?
Okay.
One thing.
I just don't understand why we can't get the single rider use at Flight of Passage.
Oh, Travis.
Right?
I know.
Right?
You're
They
right.
built
You're
it.
right.
They built it with it. They've never
True.
used it.
True. I gotta agree with him. Agree with him.
He's very right.
Well, yeah.
I'm just saying. I don't understand why they can't use it.
You would think that they would implement that and start using it for sure. I know. I don't get it either. Some of the things they do just doesn't make sense.
And here it is. Here's a picture. Here's a picture of they have it. They have the single rider line. They just don't use it.
They don't.
No. Now, right now with COVID, I kind of get some of the single rider lines being down, but I don't know that the one for Flight of Passage would make a big difference if they just need you to fill the thing. Scott, Glenn was adding that the Mr. Kamal's fries at Animal Kingdom are also changed for really no good reason.
Anyway, that's all I had. So I'll leave now.
Single rider line at Flight of Passage.
Thanks, Travis. It was good seeing you, man.
Yeah, no doubt.
That's Travis's grievance because Travis doesn't like It's a Small World.
It was a good one. It was a good one.
But Travis, your grievance is that Lion King hasn't reopened, right? If you could have Frozen Ever After, you could have Festival of Lion King.
That's right. That's right. It totally makes no sense.
Right? My grievance is
It's a travesty. It's a travesty.
It's a trap. Yeah, it probably is. Yes.
Shame.
My grievance is that you met Tony Ann before I met you. You met me.
I met Tony Ann before you met Tony Ann. Is the way it went.
Well, he must have got a time machine or something.
Technically correct, right?
Okay. You got to use the Oxford comma if you don't want to get Amanda mad.
I guess so. Yep.
All right. Okay.
Yeah, it must have been one of those time portal things. Yeah.
That's right.
Anyway, you guys are awesome.
Travis.
Happy
Festivus. Okay.
Happy Festivus.
So Scott says hoop-de-doo now. Really, they could do hoop-de-doo, couldn't they? I guess it wouldn't pay for them to have the table spaced out and
yeah, I don't know about
to
that.
have all those performers. Yes, Tom met Dave first. He did. He truly did. You know, my grievance with the Hoop-de-Doo is the food at the Hoop-de-Doo, that there were just the two of us, and I've talked about this before, and they brought us a whole rack of ribs and a whole chicken, and there was no reason for that much food, and it wound up getting thrown away. And if they had asked us, you know, how many pieces of chicken would you like, how many ribs, I think that would have been less wasteful, and Disney would have had better profit if they did that. I see Dan Austin has joined us, so he must have a grievance. What?
I do. Hi, guys. How are you?
Air your grievance.
There is no breakfast worth $184 for 4 people, even if it is at the top of the Riviera Resort.
You're absolutely right. It's eggs, right?
Oh, it's awful. I mean, it was really good, but
right.
Would you pay $184?
Right.
I should be taking home an extra breakfast or two.
I always got a chuckle out of one of the choices is a bagel.
Yeah.
One of the choices is a bagel for $44.
If they still would have had the steak, I would have been okay with that. But man, And then second thing.
Mm-hmm. Well, I just want to clarify, if people don't know, that Dan is talking about breakfast at Topolino's Terrace at the Riviera. And Amanda says those are fighting words because that's one of her favorite places. I went the day it opened originally, the first when it, grand opening, and they had the steak, and the steak was well worth it. But I wouldn't do that for a bagel or a yogurt parfait or even eggs or a waffle.
Well, we got put in the kids' room in the corner because we had 3 kids, so that was another problem too. But second unpopular opinion, bread service at Sanaa, it's not that great.
Thank you.
It's not that great. That's my grievances.
My husband,
we do love Disney. We had a wonderful trip there just a week ago. So
my husband is just like you. We went to Sanaa and he did. I'm not ordering bread. Let's order something good. And we did. I'm so glad we did. It's one of my favorite things. Right. Dan, thank you so much. I love meeting you and your family. I can't wait to see you guys again. Happy Festivus.
Yes, you too. Bye.
Thanks, Dan.
So Scott was saying for $80 for chicken and ribs, they're making plenty of money. It's true, but they'd make more if they only gave me, if I'm only going to eat 2 ribs, they could have brought me 2 ribs and, there would have been less weight. I guess I'm just a mother. Yeah. I don't want food to go to waste. I'm Italian.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like food to go to waste.
Well, that breakfast for so much money, they should give you a deal that you get a free breakfast anytime you want while you're in the park.
Yeah, really.
During the day, yeah.
Yeah. Right. If I joke, but if I knew how it was going to be at Hoop-de-Doo, I really would have put a Ziploc bag in my purse, in my bag. I would have thrown those ribs in my.
I'm gonna see you now scraping that stuff into that bag.
First of all, while the show is going, it's dark, so nobody would see you doing it.
No, I know. No.
The show is going, it's dark. I could have had fried chicken that night when we got back to the room.
You could have had that midnight snack.
Breakfast, right?
Yeah,
exactly. Yep. Amanda liked the bread service, but it was one and done. So yeah, I get that. So, Merry Christmas. Hey, Uli. So, Uli, what I was saying, I don't know if you saw the beginning of the show. I was going to wear your shirt, but I couldn't because it was green.
And she'd be invisible.
I would have been invisible.
Just the head. I'll try you see Tony under the head.
Who's the Facebook user that misses us?
Well, I don't know. I just know that it's a Facebook user.
It's Amy. It's Amy Beckner.
Oh,
that's who it is.
Amy. See, am I not missing? Are we missing some comments?
No, it's just that Amy hasn't given StreamYard permission to use her name. So
I don't blame you, Amy. I wouldn't give permission either.
Except now that I was looking for Amy, I lost her. I lost my thing where I was looking at the food grievances. That's the transportation grievances. That's the park. I lost my spot where I was looking at everybody's food grievances. So that's good.
That's okay. You got caught up in the food, the plethora of grievances for the food. And you know what? There's a lot more out there. I could go on.
So Lauren is going to come on in a minute. I just sent her the link. So which we were talking about G3, and one of the things that we've been seeing is these people leaving the food outside their door, their hot dairy products. And we were thinking of doing some kind of event that goes along with that. I don't know what we could do. I don't know if we can do something at our rooms where we leave something outside for other geeks. I don't know, something like that. Or we post it on Facebook. Quick, if you come here, I'm going to leave, a piece of pizza, and whoever finds it, they raise the price of Chef Mickey's to $42. And it's eggs and bacon and pancakes, and it's cheap. You're right. And you can't even hug Mickey. Mm-mm. I get it, Dan. I do.
Mm-mm. Do you get a social distance picture with them at least?
Yeah, you gotta make your kid kind of stand just right. Mm-hmm. A free cycle gift exchange. That's a good idea, Amy. So I'm waiting for Lauren to come on. I did send her the link. Let's see. School bread, paper straws. Travis doesn't like Dole Whips or churros. Jeff Kessler says that he prefers the standard Mickey Mouse pretzel to the gigantic expensive pretzel in Germany. I get it. The Germany pretzel is hard. It's like harder to bite into than the nice soft Mickey Mouse pretzel. But with all things with Disney, you have to get a good one, because if you get a Mickey Mouse pretzel that's been hanging there for like hours, it can be really gross. I've gotten one of those. And the same with the churro. I think the churro depends on how fresh it is, how good it is. So, I don't know. No lids on sodas. That was another one that I think it was Karen Daves who was really frustrated with the lidless sodas. I, as a mother, carrying a tray of food for 4 people, and there's 4 gigantic drinks on the tray, I have knocked over a lidless soda and made a mess. So lidless sodas are pretty messed up.
Amy says my grievance with Disney dining is the fact that the kids are adults at age 10, and that I kept forcing my kids to order the filet everywhere we ate.
Yeah, that's when the dining plan really becomes not worth it. I think is when your kids are in that in between age. I remember when Nicolette was like 14, 16, and she'd go to the buffet. We went to one of the buffets, and she had a little scoop of macaroni and cheese and like 2 chicken nuggets, and it was like $50, and Rich almost blew a gasket. So I get that, and that's at that point where you stop doing price fix meals with your kids, and you stop doing the dining plan with them. And it might just be for a couple of years you got to do that, but it is worth it not to make yourself and your partner crazy. Because when you get the sticker shock of paying $60 for 2 chicken nuggets, it's worth it. I am a big fan with the kids of the appetizers. I've talked about that, the small plates, and you can order off the kids menu. I only had one place where they insisted that Michael pay the full price for chicken nuggets. He paid an adult. They charged him $24 for a plate of chicken nuggets because they said it was the adult portion of the kids' meal. And I was a little mad, but I only had that happen one time. Lauren Hawkins is joining us right now to air her grievance.
Hi, happy Festivus! Yay! Happy Festivus! My grievance is that they're not selling annual passes right now.
Yes.
That's a good one.
I don't understand why they haven't started that yet. And second grievance is that there's no monthly payment plan for out-of-state people, except for DVC owners.
Yeah. I don't understand what makes Florida residents so special that they can have monthly payments. For the rest of the country.
It just doesn't. Yeah, makes sense.
I don't get that.
Some local loan company.
I don't get it. I think they should let it be for everyone. I think they'd get more annual passes sold. But right now, as far as not selling the annual passes, I think that it's been such a cluster with them, with the annual passes, having to pay people back. Some people haven't gotten their refunds yet. Some people got extensions on their passes, and it was a whole cluster, and the phone lines were crazy. And I think they don't want to be indebted to anyone else right now in case they do have to, God forbid, shut down again. I think they just need to make good on the promises they've made to the people they've made them to, meaning the current annual pass holders. And they probably don't want to be indebted to anybody else where they owe anybody else any services. I think that's the reason. I think that's the reason. So, but.
All right, that's my grievance.
All right. Merry Christmas.
Bye. Merry Christmas.
Thanks for coming on. Thanks for coming on.
So what was Glenn saying? I'm sorry, I didn't see. Glenn had a comment. My grievance is that all the deep theme names and dishes at Pandora and Galaxy's Edge get dumbed down 2 months after opening this and the Star Wars forks. Why can't we have nice things? Yes. So the Andorian Tip Yip was dumbed down to like chicken nuggets or something. It was Disney went to great lengths to theme all the dishes in Galaxy's Edge and Pandora, and a few months in, they let it all go. I noticed at Galaxy's Edge now, they are really loosening up on the credits. That'll be 47 credits. Do you have any? They used to really be into it. I remember that Kevin from the Diz complained that when he asked to use the restroom, they went, they got obnoxious with him about, the waste disposal, room or whatever they called it. But they do tend to do that heavy when they first open these lands, and then it all goes to the wayside after a few months. And so
Scott didn't know that there was pretzels in Germany because he's never been past a Carmel store.
Big honking expensive pretzels. They're more expensive. I think the regular Mickey pretzels are like $7, and the Germany pretzels are like $12 because they're big and hard and chewy.
Adam,
yes,
that's good.
The old forks at Galaxy's Edge when it first opened. Okay, so Adam, while we're talking about Galaxy's Edge, I want to talk to you guys about something Dave and I were discussing when we first opened, when we were getting ready for the show here. For everyone who says that they believe that Disney is crowded and at almost full capacity and everything, I want to remind you people of where we were just 1 year ago. And I think Adam St. Pierre might have been in this crowd. Anybody remember that? Every morning waking up on Facebook and seeing these pictures. How fast we forget that's the picture. That's not the picture. Where we were a year ago. This is what we were doing at 5 o'clock in the morning. And that is not what Hollywood Studios looks like now. Even I am guilty of saying Hollywood Studios looked really crowded last Monday. And then I saw those pictures come up in my Facebook feed of this time last year. And yeah, we're nowhere near that. So just, you have to reflect on where we've been. So Karen loves the German pretzels and Scott's just messing. Right. Adam was at Hollywood this past Sunday, and it was nowhere near that crazy.
And he did get on Rise, so that's a good thing.
He did. Apparently, I am the only person who couldn't get a boarding group this month. Yeah, so, yes, it is. It really is. You forget what it used to be like. Aren't you supposed to be in bed?
Kevin Curtis Allen's here.
While we're discussing food, before we move on, I want to talk about this. What? Nope, I didn't mean to. I almost edited it and deleted it. I want to talk about this. These are the beignets from Port Orleans French Quarter. These are an item that is not available right now because they're from Port Orleans French Quarter, which is closed. But if they have to keep the resort closed, and I understand that, there's no call to have that resort open right now. There's not enough guests. Why can't they make some of these items elsewhere? Can't they make these at one of the kiosks in Magic Kingdom over by Liberty Square or something, and just have the beignets so the people that are coming to Disney once a year and like to have the beignets when they come to Disney Why can't they have their gosh darn beignets? Give the people what they want.
True that, Tony Ann.
Just saying. So
speak it, girl. This is the way.
Yes, used to be. Yes, Scott. I remember when when Hollywood had those extra magic hours. I rode every ride in that park by 9:30. Every single ride. My what's the word I'm looking for? My approach to touring was to, instead of going to Galaxy's Edge where everyone ran, I went down to Rock and Roller Coaster and Tower Terra, walked on those. Then I went to Slinky Dog and all that. No, I think I did Slinky Dog first. Then I went over to Tower Terra and Rock and Roller Coaster. Then I went back and did Toy Story Mania and ASS. And then I went to Galaxy's Edge. And by that time, Millennium Falcon had a 30-minute wait instead of a 60-minute wait. So, aren't they selling beignets in like 30 places for the holiday? But they're not those beignets. Karen says, why can't they just open the Top of the World Lounge? I don't know. You got to take me, and I'll tell you, because I want that. They are now. That is one thing. They are selling that 7-layer cake at the Wave. I understand. So that is one place where they are selling something that they're famous for. And they are selling the Ohana bread pudding at Kona Cafe. So maybe they're listening a little bit. All right. So let's get off the food and talk about the resorts. What's wrong with the resorts, Dave? You got one?
Well, I got a lot. That's why I stay off property all the time now.
Okay.
I used to love the bubble.
Mm-hmm.
The bubble, all about the bubble. And we used to stay at Pop a lot because it was more of a budget until the Skyliner came in. Now it's a deluxe. But
it's a deluxe price. It's a crazy price.
Okay, yeah. Here's the problem with Pop. Okay, you go to Pop, you get there with the family. You're tired because you flew in, you drove in, and this is what it's like. Okay, here's your room. It's in section so and so and so. Have a good trip. We'll see you guys. And you go and you park. Honey, I got this. I got it, kids. Daddy's got it taken care of. This is what we're gonna do. I got the backpack full of stuff. Got hey in there if we need them.
Yes.
And
absolutely.
if we want to see our room, because it's gonna be a long trip, Daddy's got binoculars. I can see it. It's way over there. So this is what we're gonna have to do, kids. Stick with me here.
Oh my God.
I got sleeping bags for everybody. I got a tent. We can put a tent up, and then I got a lantern so we can see at night. Got snacks just in case we can get hungry, because it's a long way from the parking lot to go get something to eat. That room's going to be a long walk. And here's the special treat. Daddy's got s'mores. We got s'mores.
You're nuts.
Got s'mores.
Oh my God.
And if we get lost, I got a light.
I'll be honest with you.
It's a long trip, so settle in. And we're going to get up in the morning when we have a good night's sleep, and we're going to walk to our room, and we'll be there first thing in the morning.
I will be honest with you. I have stayed in the country western section at All Star Music, and that was, I think, the longest walk ever. The country western section of All Star Music. But yeah. But one of the things that people don't realize is you can drop your bags at the front there at Pop Century and the other values, and they Bell Services, just like you're staying at the Grand Floridian, they will bring your bags to your room. But you might have to wait for them. That's the thing. If you have your bags and you go into your room, you just want your bags. So I get that. So he is Carrot Top. Yeah, I actually saw Carrot Top in college. So
he's always down here in Sarasota.
Yeah. So, one of the complaints about that Amanda was saying was dirty rooms. She had a dirty room. dirty rooms with hair on the floor. And I will remind you all of my experience where I checked into Caribbean Beach Resort, and this is what I found when I got there. And that was where the term free bathroom pizza came from, because Michael had to go really bad. And I was like, okay, just go quick. Don't touch anything. And when he came out, he had a piece of pizza.
Hey, free pizza.
Bathroom pizza that he found. I was mortified. I really was. So she paid for her Instacart delivery at Art of Animation since her magic band wouldn't let her in the Finding Nemo building at night. Oh well.
Oh, can I just mention, since we're on Art of Animation for a second?
Yeah.
Stop calling it a budget resort.
Yeah, it's not a value resort. It's expensive.
It's a moderate resort.
It's at least a moderate. It's those suites are expensive. Scott says all the DVC resorts are a hike except for Old Key, Animal Kingdom Villas, and Old Key West. Old Key West, the parking spots are right outside your unit. I like that. And Animal Kingdom Kidani is what he's talking about. Kidani Village, yeah. Because they have a parking garage right under the building. That's cool.
You been
the
on
Wilderness Lodge? Wait, no, I didn't see any of them.
I thought you.
The Wilderness Lodge lifeguard wouldn't allow my 6-year-old to play in the splash pad the last day we were there because he was right at height level, even though he was allowed the 3 previous days. The lifeguard proceeded to guard an empty splash pad for the next hour. So rather than letting Noah into the splash pad because he was slightly too tall, he let it rather be empty than let Noah go in there. That makes sense. Bell Services works the same as values. Yes, that you're waiting and waiting for your bags. Oh yes, you never heard the breakfast pizza? Yeah, I checked in. They said your room is ready. And I went with all my bags, and this was on the 2nd floor at Caribbean Beach, which does not have elevators. So I lugged all my bags upstairs, and I had Michael and Dominic with me. And I opened the door with my magic band. It opened, and this is what my room looked like. And Michael was doing the pee-pee dance, and he was like, I gotta go. So while I was calling the front desk to say, hey, this room isn't clean, isn't ready, Michael was in the bathroom, and he came out of the bathroom with a piece of pizza. So that was basically the story. And I just said, okay, you guys please clean this room. When I come back, it better be clean. And it was. Other people say I should have went down to the front desk and demanded all kinds of, what's the word I'm looking for, Dave? Compensation. But I just said, just please clean the room when I come back.
Yeah,
so
you were very nice about it.
But anyway,
you should have asked him for more pizza.
This pizza's cold. Can you at least get me a warm one? Mm-hmm. So I do want to talk about something that upset me, and it was even before COVID. This started the entertainment that got canned in the last year. It's been 2 years. Where this was Jason and Billy, and then since COVID, of course, we lost our beloved Yeehaw Bob. These were very popular acts, and especially Bob. I don't understand why they couldn't put him elsewhere, why they couldn't put him in Epcot someplace. Because when I went to Epcot last week, they had the mariachi band performing at the America Gardens. And I don't understand why they can't stick some of these veteran, long-time performers elsewhere around the resort. If Port Orleans isn't going to be opening for a while, they could have put Bob in the Grand Floridian lobby, or they could have put him in one of the parks. I don't really understand why they're going to let talent like that get away. So it's just frustrating because he is beloved by so many of us. And I was upset about Jason and Billy last year before COVID even happened. But I mean, they could put them in Disney Springs. They could perform at at Disney Springs, and I don't understand why they're not using them elsewhere where they can, because that's one thing that's really missing from the parks is that entertainment factor. Right now, you're just basically going from ride to snack to ride to lunch to ride. There's really not anything. I know they don't want crowds, converging, but they could find someplace to put their performers.
Yeah, you would think. Come on.
So.
Yeah, Glenn said, he agrees, and so does Scott. He was a legit legend.
Yeah, they used it to clear out the expensive acts, right? He would fit. Yeah, you're right. He'd fit. There's a couple of places you could fit. You could stick Bob. He's skinny. He'd fit anywhere.
Yep.
What other resort grievances did people have? Nicole doesn't like the All-Stars. They just bug her. That's her grievance. The All-Stars just bug her. Amanda is very upset that Port Orleans French Quarter is not open. It is the best of the moderates, and she knows it, and Brian Bond knows it, and she misses it. And so do I. I love French Quarter. That's where the Austins honeymooned, at French Quarter. Angie Corbett says, better menu at the value resorts. Yeah, I agree with you. I have had many a dinner at Pop Century because that's where Michael likes to eat on his birthday. Yay, Mom. It's like, Michael, please, I'll take you anywhere. Come on. I'll take you for $42 eggs at Topolino's. No, Mom, he wants to eat at Pop Century Food Court. It's pretty bad. Yeah. Chapek feels the same way about entertainers as he does about annual pass holders. Pure corporate greed, canning all the performers while taking their full salary. Yep.
Hey, I got another grievance about resorts.
Okay.
The value resorts.
Yeah.
Could they just put up some kind of shade or some barrier from the rain at these bus stops?
The bus stops.
Anything? Just even an umbrella would do, just like they have on Toy Story. Just anything.
Right. We talked about this recently on the podcast, that why is there no awning or anything over the bus stops at the values?
It just doesn't make sense. I mean, they can build Galaxy's Edge and Pandora, but they can't build a small little structure that helps with the shade, helps a little bit from the rain and the sun killing us.
Right. Even some kind of industrial tarp thing, like they put over playgrounds, like at the YMCA, they have it's like a fabric or a canvas or something. They could do something like that just to get the rain off people and the sun off people. I don't know. And then we have the other thing that I said recently on the podcast in response to that was at the moderates and the deluxes, maybe not so much right now while the crowds are down, but I've had the experience where I'm waiting for a bus and other people run up at the last minute and get a seat, and we don't, because there's no semblance of order at those bus stops. It's just a free-for-all. So I don't understand. Okay, so I know that you've been the person who is waiting on a bus, and you're waiting on a Coronado Springs bus, and you're standing there and you see 4 Caribbean Beach Resort buses go by. You see it come and leave empty, and you're in this 3 rows deep line trying to get to Coronado. I don't understand why they don't radio. I mean, there's people there saying, we don't need Caribbean Beach right now. We need Coronado. Like, I don't understand that. I'm sure that there's some logistics that's a reason why that happens. But if there's nobody waiting at Caribbean Beach, why can't they divert one of those 3 buses to Coronado where there's 3, where it's 3 rows deep? I don't understand that. I need a bus driver to come on the show and explain it to me.
Calling all bus drivers.
My God, Dave, we're already 44 minutes in and we've only gotten to our second topic. Let's move this along. And we're kind of talking about transportation, which is our next topic. My friend Karen sent me this picture, or maybe it was my friend Scott. I don't know. They melded into one. I know that is your current grievance with transportation, that the trams are not operating today. And we've kind of beaten a dead horse with that. We have the Daves said that they missed the Epcot monorail.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm wondering if the Epcot monorail will be back when park hopping comes back in January, or if it's just too darn expensive to run.
Well, I think, I don't know. There's a lot of reasons, I guess, but I know all the construction walls have come down now in Epcot.
They weren't down last week when I was there.
Well, I think most of them are down now. The fountain is up and running, the new fountain, I think. I think I heard a little bit of that on the Diz today.
Oh, really?
I was just listening to it, so in between jobs, I was listening to it.
Oh.
So maybe let's hope
we're going to need somebody to report to us. Because, I don't know. Mm-hmm. Travis does not like the Magical Express. Now, our friend Glenn said that he didn't take the Magical Express when he came this last time. He took an Uber because he was just one person, and it was just easier just to get an Uber back to the resort rather than waiting on Magical Express. And I can see that. Travis is not a fan of the Skyliner. He did refer to them as the death buckets.
He doesn't like them? Really?
That's what he said. He said he's not sold on them yet. And I am. I'm actually okay with them. I'm not keen on getting stuck up there, but
I'll tell you one of my grievances about them though is I do enjoy them. I think they're great. I love where they're going.
Mm-hmm.
But the scrim they put on for the characters, you can't see out of them. So we always try to get one without that scrim because it's kind of difficult to see.
Right.
Like it's just a little blurry through it. So that's a no bueno. Those scrims.
Okay. And people are complaining like I do about the buses from Pop Century and Art of Animation, which seem to always be the furthest. So Facebook user, whoever you are, says that Craig showed the fountain at Epcot today on Facebook. Okay, so see?
Yep. He said the walls are down. He says it's like a different place there now. It's all open, and from what I could be wrong, Facebook user, but I think he said most all of the walls were down.
Wow, that's great because that was the worst part of being at Epcot last week was trying to get from the land over to Mouse Gear was like a 7-year trek. I needed a Sherpa to help me. So,
Glenn, I couldn't agree with you more. We drive to Disney, but when we're there, we may partake in a little bit of sippy. So we use Lyft all the time. Lyft is our friend.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Love Lyft. Lyft.
All right. So wrapping up, we have some park operations things. Of course, there's Dave's favorite park operation grievance, the eBay jerks. And Dave is not a fan of eBay jerks. And the fact that Disney allows them to do this is one of our...
There should just be a limit. There should be a limit.
Well, there is a limit, but it's too much. It's too high.
Well,
it's
yeah.
10 per item per person is too much, especially when you have a couple, so they can get 20 of an item.
That's correct. That's just too much. So when I said limit, I should have expanded and said the limit should be a lot less than it is right now. That's for sure.
Yeah, maybe 2, maybe 3 if you have 3 kids. I don't know. Yeah.
You should do it like the magnets. If you're not there,
right. You don't get it, right? Well, remember this picture from last year of the camera boxes. Now, this is something that doesn't affect us right now because right now there are no character meets, but these were the pictures that somebody got with their camera box. They're just awful. Those are awful pictures. So Amanda says she's walking straight onto Magical Express. There hasn't been a long wait for it. That's good. That's good to know.
And
I don't know.
Karen is parodying what we talked about, the walls.
She's got the walls come crumbling down. Okay, I won't sing anymore. That's everybody's grievance when Tony Ann sings on the Disney Crash. This is, I'm trying to think, where is the other? Rise of the Resistance obviously is a big pet peeve for a lot of us, that we have to stress so much about it. It does make planning your Hollywood day difficult, because I was looking for G3. I wanted to make a reservation to overpay for lunch at Hollywood and Vine. I wanted to have lunch with Mickey Mouse. And I don't know how to plan for that, because what if I get called from my Rise of the Resistance boarding group right when I'm supposed to have my lunch? It's very stressful. Now, Amanda, can you share what you experienced? Because I know your boarding group got called up while you were having right around the time you had your lunch reservation. I don't think it was a problem for her, though. I think she just went to the check-in and told them, we're late because we were riding Rise of the Resistance. So if anybody else besides Amanda, or if Amanda wants to come in and say what happened. What was Dan just mentioning? I didn't see Dan's big long post.
He was talking about they rented a vehicle while they were there on property, because they just were there. And he said it. Well, here, I'll pull it up. There, it's after renting our own vehicle this last trip, the time saved not waiting for transportation is golden. Resort to resort travel without taking a what is that?
A boat, bus, or monorail. I'm sure it's
yeah.
I
don't have my glasses. So.
But that's okay. But no, Dan. Dave and I have been singing the praises of driving yourself for a long time. Amanda's travel agent, who I may or may not know, advised that she go ride Rise, so she did. And then she arrived to lunch a little late, but they still took her in. So that's what you got to do. But it's stressful, because you don't know what time to make your lunch reservation for, your dinner reservation, and you don't know. You don't want to make one for another resort, because in case you don't know, it's just hard.
Yeah, and just going back to what Dan was talking about, time at Disney is so important, and if you factor in all, because you're waiting in line, waiting for buses, waiting for transportation. If you can Lyft or rent your own car, you're going to save so much time. It could be a couple hours a day.
Yeah, it really can, because people don't think about if you're at your resort and you're leaving your room. If you could just go get in your car and leave, versus going to the bus stop, waiting for that bus to leave, then getting on the bus, boarding the bus, traveling, and then, if you think of all the time that takes in the day, it actually is faster to drive yourself. What was Scott saying about Rise of the Resistance? I'm sorry. It's tough. Yeah. Like when you're planning on going to Hollywood Studios around noon, but you get boarding group 3 and you have to go early. Oh, Scott, I feel so bad for you.
Tough life, man.
It is a tough life. Yeah. I listed an issue that if you have a confirmed reservation, you should be guaranteed a Rise of the. You should, Karen. If you have a resort reservation, she feels Rise should be included in the price of the resort, that you get to ride that ride. And I get it, because you're paying a premium for these rooms, and you don't know whether or not you're going to get to ride that ride. And my main grievance with that ride, as we've talked about on the podcast for the last 2 weeks, is that right now we're at 35. We're not exactly sure. We think it's around 35, the capacity that they're running at. If that's true, this ride should be able to handle 35% of capacity. Because if it can't, what are they going to do when they go back up to 100% capacity? This ride never should have opened. Or if they knew this is all they were going to be able to board, they should have scrapped it and said, this isn't going to work. Bring us back something better. They never should have built it if it wasn't going to be able to handle the capacity of crowds. They should have went back to the drawing board and not built it. So that's my grievance. So Dave, I'm going to talk to you about something that doesn't affect you, but I know a lot of our listeners have applied to the Disney Parks Mom Panel, which is a yearly contest they have. And it's not just for moms. Men could apply too. Dads, anybody, aunts, uncles, grandmas. You could be on the Disney Moms panel. And people apply from all over the country. And real people who know Disney really well apply. And then they hire people that are more like style influencers. So I'm not judging this lady. I don't know this lady personally, but when I tour the parks, I don't wear heels and that. I don't dress like that to tour the parks. And this was from Disney Resort TV. This is a real member of the Moms panel. And she may be a lovely person, but that is not how most of us tour the parks. Most of us have on our Crocs and our crossbody bags and have 2 kids and a stroller. And so the Moms panel has been something that a lot of us moms have, it's been a grievance of a lot of us for the last 10 years or so, that these moms are not exactly realistic Disney moms. And then when you go on the Disney Parks website and they give out advice, a lot of times they give out misinformation. So, yeah, the Disney Moms panel, just get rid of it. If you're not going to use real moms, just get rid of it. Or moms that know what they're talking about even. Yeah.
But even on Dapper days, they got tennis shoes on.
Yeah. So I don't know.
They might have a beautiful dress, but there's tennis shoes under that dress.
Right. So I don't know. That's just a pet peeve of some of ours. So anybody else? Because we're getting ready to wrap up. We have been airing our grievances, but you know what? I think we stayed pretty positive. I know this is something that I think Dave and I could get away with because we love Disney, but we're not afraid to criticize a little bit where it needs to be kind of poked. But at the end of the day, we still pretty positive about it. Like I said, they still get my money every year, so they must be doing something right.
Yeah, we love Disney, but
yeah, we all do. But there's sometimes things that make you want to pull your hair out, just like your kids. You love your kids, but you got grievances.
Thank you, Amy. Thank you for being amazing.
That's right. So, anything else, Dave? I just want to say Merry Christmas. So go ahead.
No, yeah, of course we're gonna wish everybody happy holidays, but just got through recording with Steven, my brother, and because of the whole Mandalorian thing recently, we decided that maybe we'll revisit that again a little bit. So we kind of talked about the people behind that have something to do with the Mandalorian, directors, producers, the music, some of the actors, that kind of thing. No spoilers. We did say a couple of things in there, but I don't think it's going to be any big deal for spoilers. And that I'm done editing it. Just got to do some stuff to the audio, but that should be out tomorrow. So yeah.
Wonderful. So I think next week we're going to do a best of the year, kind of talk about the highlights of the year. I know it was a rough year for us, but maybe the highlights of the year and what we're looking forward to next year, I think is what we're going to do next week. So, Amy, she has 0 grievances about us.
Well, we got to change that. We're going to have to come up with something.
Scott's mad about Mr. Toad. He'll never forgive them about replacing Mr. Toad for that acid trip Winnie the Pooh ride.
That sounds like my brother, Steve. He feels the same.
Heffalumps and woozles. Oh, well. Guys, thank you so much. The highlight of my year really has been all of you, because I can't believe with the parks closed, I think our friendships grew even stronger. And I'm so grateful to have all of our listeners and friends. And if you are not on the Friends of the Disney Crush Facebook group, please come and join us. We have a lot of fun there. We share news. We have some inside jokes, but it's all in fun. And whoever finds the best free cycle Disney food outside somebody's hotel room, they get props for the day. So
I want one of those red microwaves. That's what I want.
Yeah, some lady. Yes. Oh, I should have brought the picture over to share. Some lady. She put a Christmas tree, a microwave, a hot plate, and a toaster outside her room yesterday at Pop Century. That was the mother load. Merry Christmas to all of you guys.
Yeah. Have a safe Christmas, you guys. Be safe and enjoy your family if you can, even if it's from a distance. So
That's right. And we'll see you guys next week. Thank you so much.
thank you guys. You guys are the best.
Happy Festivus!
Yeah, Festivus. Oh, hey, I'm going to go get me a s'more. I'm going to have me a s'more. I got all the ingredients, so why not? I'll just start a fire in the back.
God.
Honey, we're going to have some s'mores. I got to go, Tony Ann. We're going to have s'mores.
Bye. Everybody knows you're not going to eat a s'more. It's got sugar in it. Bye.